So, welcome to the Agriculture channel. Today we are going to discuss the second lecture of Dryland Agriculture, and here we are going to discuss some more important multiple choice questions along with a brief explanations to all the questions along with its options. Okay, so let us first start the question. Nutrient which is mostly involved in improving drought tolerance by osmotic adjustment, whether it is nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium or magnesium. So for this question we have to understood what do you mean by osmotic adjustment. So here in this case osmotic adjustment means what? So as you know that suppose this is a cell, and in this cell a solute concentration will increase. In the yesterday class we have studied the solute concentration is increased, then the osmotic pressure will increase. That means the osmotic pressure will increase means from outside the water will enter into the cell. That means the cell water content will increase. Cell water content will increase. That means the cell water content will increase. That means the turgor pressure will increase. So this solute which will increase the osmotic pressure, which will increase the turgor pressure by using this retention of the water molecule, we can say, and this is done by two elements. One is potassium, another is calcium. Both will maintain the ionic balance of the cell and they maintain the turgor pressure. So the answer will be potassium. If we will see other options, there is nitrogen. It will lead to vegetative growth of the plant. If we will see phosphorus, zinc and magnesium, all will help in a root development. They will help in a root growth under which situation? Under drought stress condition. So under drought stress condition, phosphorus, zinc and magnesium all will help in root growth, whereas potassium will help in osmotic balance, that is osmotic adjustment, which will increase the osmotic pressure and it will lead to inlet of water and increase in turgor pressure. Okay, second question is under moisture stress condition. Under moisture stress condition, the number of stomata per unit leaf area, okay, will increase, decrease or remain same. So under this you have to know what is happening to the leaf area. If there is a we can say drought stress or moisture stress, in this case the leaf area will decrease. Leaf area will decrease. Suppose this is my previous, this is before drought stress. Suppose in this case I am having we can say four stomata. Suppose in this case I am having four stomata, that is before drought stress. But after drought stress, what is happening? The leaf area is decreasing. This is after drought stress, the leaf area is decreasing, but the stomata number remains same. Stomata number remains same, but the area is decreasing. So stomata number remains same, but leaf area is decreasing. That means the question is whether the number of stomata per unit leaf area will increase or decrease. Though if we will not consider the area, the stomata almost remains same. But if we will consider area, then per unit area, the number of stomata will increase because the number of stomata remains same, but area is decreasing. So hence the ratio will increase. Okay. Then coming to third number question, water column breaks in the xylem vessels under drought stress condition, which called as, okay, so whether it is osmotic adjustment, very recently we have told what is osmotic adjustment. It is because of potassium and calcium, which will increase the osmotic pressure. Another is anabolism, catabolism. As you know that anabolism means synthetic process, that is photosynthesis, whereas catabolism is the respiration process. So the answer will be embolism. So embolism means what? Basically, as you know that, so this is the plant stem and this is the xylem. Suppose this is a xylem, and inside this xylem there is a channel of water is there. There is a channel of water is there. This is the, we can say, the sap. Sap means what? Water is there and other solutes are there. In this case, air is present. Yes, obviously, but these air are in mixed, or you can say soluble. Soluble air particles are there. So in this case, the water will move in upward direction. Yes or no? So this is at a normal condition. This is normal situation at the xylem vessel. This is a xylem vessel. Inside the xylem vessel, the water will move inside the xylem in a continuous manner. Which manner? In a continuous channel will be there. A continuous channel will be there inside the xylem. But what is happening if in drought condition, suppose in this time drought stress will be there, then what will happen? Under drought stress condition, whatever the air bubbles are there, suppose these are air bubbles which are soluble in nature initially, those air bubbles will accumulate. Those air bubbles will accumulate and form a large air bubble. This is called as air bubble. So as you know that if in a continuous channel, this is the continuous channel of water, this is water, this is also water, and as you know that in a continuous channel of water, if air will be present, then the channel will break. So this causes the breaking of the channel. Which channel? That is the continuous channel of water. This is broken by the air bubble. This is why it is happening, because under drought stress condition, the water tension is increasing. The water tension is increasing. Previous in the first class, that is Dryland lecture 1, we have studied that when the moisture content will decrease, then the moisture, soil moisture, plant moisture tension will increase. So as in this case under drought stress condition, because of moisture tension is increasing, so the air bubble will accumulate together to form a larger air bubble, and it will break the channel of flow of water. This is called as embolism. Okay, then next also it is called as we can say xylem cavitation. This embolism also known as xylem cavitation. Okay, then next question, rhizosheath is the layer of dust particles to the root surface. Rhizosheath means whether the root surface which will contain soil particle, water particle, nutrient or nodules. So basically, as you know that, suppose the concept behind it is that, suppose this is the tree and this is the root part. As you know that under drought condition, what is happening? Whatever the surrounding soils are there, these soils, the water level is decreasing. That means the soil will tend to dry. But in order to survive, what is happening? The root of the plant, they contain some soil particles. Which will hold the water for a longer period of time. Though the surrounding soil becomes dry, but the root contains some which particle? This root contains some soil particles which will hold the water for a longer period of time in order to survive, for the survival of the plant. This is called as rhizosheath. So rhizosheath means the layer of soil particles to the root surface. Then coming to next question, fifth number question. The plant redistribute water from wet zone to dry zone of soil is called as hydraulic drive, hydraulic lift, hydraulic pump or hydraulic fracturing. Okay. So here The concept is that suppose under drought condition, suppose we are having drought condition. Suppose this is the plant and this is the root. Suppose there are two types, one is tree and another is the crop. This is the root part. Okay, so under drought condition, what is happening under drought condition? Under drought condition, the upper layer of the soil becomes dry, but in the deeper layer there is wet zone is there, because under the deeper layer water is present. That is called as water level. Okay, so under drought condition the upper soil becomes dry, whereas the deeper wet zone is there. So under this condition the crop is unable to uptake the water because it is the root is confined to the upper layer of the soil surface. So the crop can, this is crop, this is tree. Okay, so the crop is not able to uptake the water from the soil. Hence, but on the other hand, the tree having the tree or any crop having the deep root system, they will uptake the water from the deeper layer, and the water will be available, and subsequently this water, whatever the water present in the deeper layer, this will be uptaken by the deeper root of the tree or crop, and it will be available to the upper surface, or we can say subsurface of the soil, and this water is now available to the crop plant, which is earlier it is not able to uptake the water, but now this crop can uptake this water. So this redistribution of water from wet zone to dry zone is called as hydraulic lift. So the answer will be hydraulic lift. Okay, so if we will see other terms, that is hydraulic drive. It is in automobiles. This hydraulic drive is there. Hydraulic pump, it is to lift some energy used. Lift, it is to lift some water, or it is to use some electrical, we can say elevation, to elevate some heavy machines. Hydraulic pump will used. Hydraulic pump is majorly, it will convert the mechanical energy to we can say hydraulic energy. Hydraulic pump, okay, sorry, it will convert hydraulic energy to mechanical energy. Please check it. Then coming to hydraulic fracturing. Hydraulic fracturing means extraction of oil from either ocean or from rock surface. This is called as hydraulic fracturing. Okay, coming to the next question. The next question is, photosynthetic rate is affected when the tissue water potential decreases to, as you know that drought stress condition means the plant, inside the plant tissue water content is decreasing. If water content is decreasing, then water potential will also decrease, and it becomes negative in nature, because highest water potential is present in pure water. That is, pure water has highest water potential, the value is 0. Hence, inside the plant body, due to drought stress or moisture stress condition, the water content is decreasing, hence the water potential will decrease and it becomes more negative. Okay, so here the answer is, which point the photosynthetic rate is affected. Though we know that tissue water potential is decreasing, but at which point the rate of photosynthesis is affected? The answer is minus 1.6 megapascal. This is megapascal. Okay, as you know that this is the point where permanent wilting point, soil moisture, soil water potential at a permanent wilting point. Hence, after this, that is when the again further water content is decreasing, now the water potential is minus 1.6 megapascal, and at this point the rate of photosynthesis is affected. Okay, but if we will see the cell growth is affected very earlier, that is when the tissue water potential is decreased by minus 0.1 megapascal, that is the soil water potential, and at this point the cell growth is affected, but the rate of photosynthesis is affected at minus 1.6 megapascal. Okay, that is why the photosynthesis process is more affected due to the decrease in cell growth, rather due to the rate of decrease in photosynthesis. Okay, then coming to drought induced flower drop in tomato is regulated by a peptide hormone. The question is, as you know that the drought condition is there, this drought condition, it will cause some abscission. Abscission means a premature drop of fruit or flower. So the question here is, the drought induced flower drop in which crop? In tomato. It is regulated by, the answer is phytosulfokin. The answer is phytosulfokin, which is a peptide based hormone. Okay, if we will see other options, there is aquaporin proteins. Aquaporin proteins, you know, it is present where? It is present in plasma membrane. Okay, and it will maintain the hydraulic conductance. Again, another question, that is proline. It, as you know that in the lecture 1 of this Dryland Agriculture we have studied, proline means it is the amino acid which will maintain the membrane, cell membrane integrity. It will maintain the cell membrane integrity by reducing the oxidation of lipid membrane. So as you know that under drought condition, reactive oxygen species will be there, hydrogen peroxide will be formed, superoxide will be formed, and these molecules will degrade or will oxidize. These molecules will oxidize the lipid membrane or lipid part of the cell membrane. Okay, hence in order to reduction of this oxidation, the plant has a mechanism to release an amino acid. This is called as proline. Okay, and another term, that is the glutathione. As you know that this glutathione is nothing but the scavenging molecule. It is also act as an antioxidant. It is the enzymatic part of antioxidant. Example. Okay, coming to the next question, that is question number 8. What is the general rule under drought stress condition? Basically, the general rule is that under drought stress, in normally drought stress, it will delay the maturity. Under drought stress condition, this drought stress delays the maturity. This is normal rule. Okay, but if we will see the general rule with respect to occurrence of the stress, so here the right answer will be, if stress occurs before flowering, the duration of the crops, what will happen? So let us first understand the concept. Okay, so suppose there is two types of condition here. You have two types of condition. So one is, so this is a crop where it will give flower. This is the crop where it will give flower. So question says that what will happen if drought stress occur before flowering or drought stress occur after flowering. So in this case, before, that is drought stress occur before flowering, drought stress occur after flowering. This is the flowering time. Okay, so you have to understand this question, that if the drought stress occur before flowering, that means it will delays the maturity. What it will cause? It will delays the maturity. Okay, but if this drought stress occur after flowering, then there will be early maturity of the crop. Okay, that means if the stress occur before flowering, the duration of the crop decreases. Is it right? No, because it says that if drought stress occur before flowering, it will delay the maturity. That means it will increase the duration of the crop. So this will be the right answer. Okay. But if we'll say other option, if stress occurs after flowering, then early maturity will be there, then the duration of the crops will decrease. Okay. Then next, coming to dry spell. So dry spell is a rainless period of what? Okay. So let us understand the concept. There is one is a dry spell, another is wet spell. Dry spell means what? Continuous rainless period. It is continuous rain period. So dry spell means if it is light soil, or we can say alphy soil, if it is bhatti soil, or we can say black soil. So if there is continuous rainless period of how many days? More than 10 days. More than 10 days, it is called as dry spell in case of which soil? Light soil. If it is more than 15 days, in case of black soil, then it is called as dry spell. So the answer will be more than 10 days for light soil and more than 15 days in heavy soil areas. Okay. So here another question is important. We have to understand. So if I will ask you when the dry spell will break. So what is the condition that we will say that now that dry spell is over? What is that condition? That condition is that when the rainfall, which rainfall? That is, we can say the rainfall of that day, is more than the mean, or we can say the mean or average weekly evaporation. Okay, so the question is when you will say that now the dry spell is over, when the rainfall is, or we can say average rainfall, or the rainfall at which it will exceed the mean weekly evaporation. Okay, so in this case, the day or the time at which the rainfall is so high that it will increase or it will exceed the mean weekly evaporation, then it is called as it is called as breaking of the dry spell. Okay, so now the last question. So here the last question is, in which parameter the canopy temperature is required for calculation? So this is what? This is growing degree day. GDD means growing degree day. SDD means stress degree day. LGP means length of growing period. PTU means photothermal unit. So now the question is, in which parameter the canopy temperature is required for calculation? Okay, so in order to give this answer, let us understand briefly what is the meaning of these terms. Okay, so first term is GDD, that is growing degree day. So for GDD means what? GDD means, how you will calculate GDD means summation of T max means the maximum daily temperature plus the minimum daily temperature divided by 2, which will give the mean temperature of that day. So maximum temperature plus minimum temperature by 2 minus base temperature. This is what? This is the base temperature. This is the base temperature. Base temperature means below the temperature below which there will be no germination of the plant or no growth of the plant. Okay, So this base temperature we can say for rice, the TB value will be 10 degrees centigrade, whether it is rice, maize and pearl millet. The base temperature is 10 degrees centigrade. If it is wheat, then it is 4.5 degrees centigrade. In some books, it was written 4 degrees centigrade. Okay. So you have to calculate daily maximum temperature, daily minimum temperature, then divide by 2 minus TB. This will give the growing degree day. Okay. Coming to stress degree day. The next is stress degree day. So here how you will calculate the stress degree day means it will measure what do you mean by stress degree day. So it will measure the amount of stress. It measure the amount of stress in a plant body. So stress degree day means canopy temperature minus air temperature. Okay. So this is canopy temperature. This is air temperature. Okay. So what is the concept behind this? As you know that suppose this is the healthy plant. Suppose this is healthy plant and soil contains enough water. Soil contains enough water. If soil contains enough water, then there will be normal transpiration will be there. So the transpiration rate is very high, we can say very high rate of transpiration. So as you know that suppose this is air, this is leaf, or we can say canopy, leaf or canopy. So as you know that transpiration is a which process? As you know that transpiration is a cooling process. That means the temperature cooling process means inside the plant body, if transpiration will occur, then the temperature will decrease and it will almost the temperature remains or approximately equal to the temperature of the air, because as you know that the transpiration is a cooling process, hence the leaf temperature will decrease, and it will almost equal to the air temperature. Okay, that means if your soil has enough moisture, then the transpiration will be at normal rate, or we can say high rate. It is not affected, we can say not affected. So transpiration is not affected. That means now the canopy temperature is almost equal to air temperature or atmospheric temperature. That means my stress degree is Tc minus Ta, which is approximately 0. So stress degree is 0 means no stress. Okay. But as you know that what is happening under drought condition? Under drought condition, what is happening? Under drought condition, no moisture in soil. If no moisture, then there is no transpiration. If there is no transpiration, then the canopy temperature is increasing as compared to atmospheric temperature. That means the stress degree day Tc minus Ta becomes positive because Tc value is increasing as compared to air temperature. So higher the positive, you can say higher the positive stress degree day means the plant is present at higher stress condition. That means more drought condition is there. Okay. So this is the thing where we are going for calculation of the stress degree day. Okay. Then the next is length of growing period. Okay. So let us know what is my length of growing period. So length of growing period means the duration where precipitation exceeds half of potential evapotranspiration plus the period or days required to consume 100 millimeter of stored soil water by evapotranspiration. Okay. So length of growing period it is calculated is in terms of days. So here the length of growing period means the duration where precipitation exceeds half of PET. That means precipitation means what? Rainfall. So here rainfall should exceed half of PET. Okay, this is the duration plus the days required to consume 100 millimeter or we can say 10 centimeter of water. 10 centimeter of soil moisture utilization, how much of days is required. So basically how you will calculate the length of growing period, which week we are considering, which week, the week. So here weekly rainfall is calculated, weekly evapotranspiration is calculated, then you should calculate week rainfall divided by week evapotranspiration. So you have to maintain the ratio, here you can say the rainfall, this that implies rainfall divided by PET should be equal to 1 by 2, more than equal to 1 by 2, which is more than equal to 0.5. So you have to find out every week rainfall, every week evapotranspiration, and find out the ratio. If it is more than equal to 0.5, then consider it into LGP, calculation of length growing period. Okay, so then go for addition of summation of all these weekly growing periods. Weekly, suppose 1 week is 7 days, so consider the number of weeks. Suppose we can say 10 number of weeks is there. Suppose 10 number of weeks are there which are having the ratio more than equal to 0.5, then now my length of growing period will be 10 into 7, that is 70. Okay, so this is the calculation of length of growing period. So if the length of growing period is very high, then you can go for intercropping, double cropping, or we can say multiple cropping. If it is very low, then you can only go for monocropping, sole cropping. Okay, single crop you will take in a year. But if the length of growing period is very high, then you can go for more than 2 crop, more than one crop, that is 2 crop, 3 crop. It depends upon the length of growing period of a. So in a year, if the length of growing period is very high, days in a year, the calculation is days in a year. So if the length of growing period is very high, then multiple cropping will be taken care. Then the last one is photothermal unit. So here photothermal unit means what? Photothermal unit means, here the concept, it is related to flowering. Okay, so as you know that in the principle there is 2 types of plant. One is short day plant, another is long day plant. For short day plant, flowering needs more night, or we can say long night. For flowering in short day plant, it needs long night, whereas for flowering in long day plant, it will need short night. Okay, so here the formula is photothermal unit is equal to the growing degree day into the length of night or day. So in which case we are taking the night? So growing degree day into length of night or length of day. So if it is short day plant, then we will take length of night. If it is long day plant, then you will take the length of day. Okay, so here the question is, in which parameter canopy temperature is required for calculation? So the answer is stress degree day. So here you can see the diagram, that is this is called as embolism. You can see this is the embolism, or which is called as xylem cavitation. It is called as xylem cavitation. Here you can see the normal continuous channel is there. This is normal channel. This is normal channel of normal water channel, where dissolved air is there, airs are there. But at the time of drought stress, this is air bubbles are the, you can see the air bubbles, you can see here the air bubbles. Okay, under drought stress condition, these air bubbles will accumulate to give cavitation or a large air bubble, which will called as water column break. So it will break the flow of water. Okay, this will occur in the drought stress condition. So thank you so much. I have we have clearly understood the questions, and we have also analyzed their answers behind all the questions. So thank you so much. So further we will discuss some more important questions related to the dryland agriculture.